How do you balance activism and motherhood?
I don't balance activism and motherhood well at all. And thankfully, my son is now 20 years old, and he and I can sit around and laugh about well, he doesn't always laugh about all the times when I messed up as a parent. But, you know, he respects the work that I do, and somehow or another we just get by. But I certainly didn't do all the things properly. However, I have a great child, so something went right.
Yeah.
And part of it is that my parents were there to pick up for where I was lacking.
Oh, good.
Great.
And what is your stand on healthcare?
Oof, what is my stand on healthcare? I mean, I think that, you know, in order for our healthcare system, first of all, my stance is that I think we need Medicare for all. I think that also there has to be a real internal reflection on how the healthcare system works, because it's definitely failing Black women particularly. And, you know, we're the cornerstone of our communities, and so if Black women are not healthy, the whole family is unhealthy. And I think we have to put Black women and our health concerns first, because anytime that you raise you know, people who are most vulnerable up from the foundation, from the bottom, it raises the quality of everyone's lives. So that's what I would say, is that we've got a lot of work to do to ensure that Black women are healthy.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Here, but he's like, oh, you're gonna be there, I'm gonna be there too, you know, and people have always treated me that way, and I think that it has so much to do with the idea that when you are an activist, an organizer, a leader, you give so much of yourself, and I think so many have died or have left the movement with a sense of depression, which we all suffer from, definitely. But the love that your community and your friends gives you is so important. So if there are people who are on this campus, at this school, or in your life that is a leader, an organizer, or somebody who's working in the freedom fighting world, love up on them a lot, check on them a lot, you know, treat them to little things as often as you can, because they really, really need it. So, but my parents were in the movement, they are in the movement, and when I was young, I don't know about the laws that they have now where the parents don't beat kids, because they didn't have those laws when I was young. The rules were either you went to a rally with them or there was going to be some trouble in the house. They didn't play. They forced me to be with them around all these old people with these dashikis on, talking about Ungawa Black Power and all that. And I used to be like, this is whack. Like, show me to the skating ring, where's the boys? You know, let me get some nail polish. Like, I didn't have time for that. This lifestyle of, you know, all listening to people at rallies and whatnot. I was like, yo, this is like whack. But now I'm grateful. I'm grateful, and I suggest to everyone that you don't just, because a lot of us, we go to the rally, we go and we're involved in stuff, but we don't think about whether or not our little brothers and sisters and our children are also being exposed. I see a young lady who's here now, and that's how I was. When I was little, I wasn't paying attention, but yet I was hearing everything. So even though I was on my devices or whatever they gave me to play with, I still, it was somehow entering my psyche, and I think that's something that's important for us, because we go to the rally, but we do not bring our kids along. We go to vote and don't necessarily bring our kids along. But in my household, every time my parents voted, I had to be there early in the morning, before work, whatever it was. I was I had to be there. The why for me with the Women's March was, when I first heard about it, obviously Trump is elected. And invited me here today, so I ain't for homeboy at all.
Come on, right?
So, okay. So he was elected. I was actually devastated. My son had been saying he was going to win, and I was like, there is no way in the world that he's going to win this election.
He said he tried to tell me.
And he was like, oh, no, not only is he going to win, he's already won. Like, I'm telling you, it's going to happen. And he won. And I was so devastated. I remember being in my home in New York, and I was like, wow, this is really bad. Like, this is happening and it's really, really bad. And in fact, the night before, when Hillary wouldn't come out to speak, I was just like, even she's upset with me. Like, we're together. We are devastated. And then I kept seeing on social media a post that said, Million Women's March, which, by the way, there had already been a Millions Women's March 10 years before. And so, you know, I'm seeing this post and I'm seeing a lot of people that I know and respect resharing it. And I'm not really a Twitter person. I had no idea that on Black Twitter, Black women were tearing these white ladies up about having this march.
Black Twitter do
Black
every time.
If you don't want to be, if you don't know about Black Twitter, you don't want to get caught in Black Twitter because it's relentless. They don't stop and they sarcastic. They hurt your feelings.
For sure.
Yes. So I didn't know that they were tearing them up on Twitter. And then I found out later during the day that these white ladies decided that they were going to do a march. But at the same time that I found out about that, I also found out that 53% of white women who voted were responsible for Donald Trump being elected. So there was a lot of emotions happening. And black women were like, y'all gonna have a march. Like, you should have marched to your mama's house to tell her, don't go down there and vote for this man.
Come on.
Like, you marching now, you marching the wrong time. The march should have been before. And they were like, we tired of marching. Y'all go out there and march by yourselves. Like, he said with Malcolm X, he has too much power before they killed him. And so I don't think that, hopefully no one wants to actually assassinate me and kill me, although they tell me that all the time on my social media and other things. But there are other ways to assassinate a movement.